What's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this medium-sized wavy wooden American flag. Let's get started. Alright guys, so we're starting out with these two 8-foot 2x4s, and the first thing that we're going to do is cut 7 pieces at 23 3/4 inches. Alright, so now that we got these cut, the next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and rip 1-inch strips out of these. So we should be able to get 3 out of each piece. And I'm gonna go ahead and rip off rounded edge before I start ripping my pieces. They should be wide enough to be able to rip that off and still get 3 1-inch pieces out of each one. For the last piece, you will only need 1 of them, but I'm gonna rip all 3 of them just to have a few extras in case I don't like one of the other pieces I rip. So we're gonna go ahead and get 15 of those 1-inch strips ripped down. Alright, so I got all of my pieces ripped, and the next thing that we're going to do is get these things all glued together and clamped up. So I got 13 of them here. I just got some wood glue, and then I just put together this quick little 45-degree template just so that I can glue them all, and then kind of get them slid into this corner here so that they're all nice and lined up at a good 90 degree. And then I got a few of these larger clamps. I think I'll just use this more as a reference and then get them clamped, and then I'll set it somewhere else just so I don't get a bunch of glue that dries to my table here. So we can go ahead and get these things all glued up. Alright, so I gave these some time to dry overnight. Go ahead and get my clamps pulled off, and make sure you go nice and heavy on your glue. Actually, my glue bottle was being kind of annoying, so I wasn't putting out as much glue as it should have been, so it was taking me a while, and then my glue started to dry up, so I kind of cut my glue a little bit short, but you do want to make sure that you get plenty of glue between these so that they are nice and stuck together. Alright, so from here, I'm going to be using my angle grinder. This is just a DeWalt 4011 angle grinder. If you do have one of these handles for your angle grinder, you're going to want to use that as well. And then I'm going to be using a Kutzall shaping disc for mine. So that is what this thing looks like. And this is the concave shape, and it's the coarse one. I can go ahead and link this in the description. And then I'm also going to put on my my little shield. And when you do this, you just want to go nice and slow and don't like push down too hard on it. Just take it nice and easy, and you'll see how it works. And then before you start carving, it is actually a good idea also to kind of mark out where your stripes are going to be, or what's going to be your high and low spots, just so that you kind of have something to follow, and so you're not just winging it. Alright, so I'm all finished up with the carving. Beware, it is a little bit dusty. And then I also went ahead and carved out along on the back side too, kind of to match the face, so that way when it's on the wall, it'll look like it's a lot thinner than it is, but then the most of it is still flat so that you can still hang it on the wall. So I just thought that would look kind of cool. And the next thing that we got to do is I'm going to take my orbital sander, and then I'm just going to go ahead and get this thing as smooth as I can. So ideally you want to get it as smooth as you can with the grinder, because that's going to take off wood a lot quicker than the sander is. So get it as good as you can with the grinder, and then we're going to go ahead and finish it off with the orbital sander and just hand sanding. All right, so now we are done with the sanding. I think I got this thing mostly smooth, and I'm actually really liking how this, how it looks when you take out the back edge like that. And the way I did that was I just clamped it to the edge of the table. You can probably see in the video. And then I just held the grinder upside down and then just kind of watched how much I was taking out, and then just kind of took out up until I would kind of match what I had on the face. But I think that's actually gonna turn out. But the next thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and get this thing torched. So I think I'll just kind of torch this the way I've done my other ones, which is I'll probably go darker around the edge, and then I think I'll go darker on the insides of these, just on the low points, and then only on the one side, just so that it kind of looks like it has more depth to it. But obviously you can torch yours however you like to. That's just how I'm gonna do mine. And then I'm also going to torch on the back side too. I'll just torch it pretty dark. All right, so I'm all done with my torching. That is kind of what that looks like. And the next thing that we got to do is go ahead and stain it. So I got my stencil here, and for the union, I will just press this thing down and maybe use some tape to hold it in place. And then I'll mark a line for my union. And then I'll be using some frog tape to tape off for my stripes, and I'll just be following my I'll just be following the lines in the wood. And then for my stain, I just got some of this Minwax water-based wood stain. This is the blue, which is denim blue. For the red, I got some of the same Minwax water-based wood stain. This is tinted in crimson. And then for my white, I have some of this Varthane water-based wood stain tinted in white. And then I'll probably do about 2 coats of each color. As you can see from my stripes, I'm cutting my tape in half. I have the 1.8-inch frog tape, so it's a little bit too wide, so I just cut it in half. And then that way I can use it on either side and overlap it in the middle. And then make sure you push that frog tape down real good. Sometimes it wants to peel up on you, so make sure that before you stain, you push it down as best you can, and that will help to avoid any bleeds. And I did get a little bit of bleeding from my white stain into my red stripes, and I just took a rag and did my best to wipe it off, and I was able to clean it off fairly well. So if you do get white stain bleeding onto your red, you should be able to wipe it off. Alright, so now that I'm done with the staining, the next thing that I'm gonna do is take my stencil. This is a 7x10 stencil, I believe. And then what I'm gonna do is push it down nice and tight and kind of get it taped into place. And then I'm gonna go through with a pencil and trace out the stars. And then once I've done that, I'll be using my Dremel. I have a Dremel 3000, and I will be using my flex shaft. I got a little dust blower attachment there, and then I'll be using a little wood carving tip. I like to use the 106 wood carving tip. That one's like small, but not too small. And I will go ahead and get those carved out. All right, so we got the stars finished up and those turned out fairly clean. And then the next thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and get the hangers put on the back. So I'll just be using these large sawtooth hangers, and I will put them on the second stripe down from the top. And then I'm just gonna make sure that before I screw it in, I'm not screwing it in, depending on how much wood you took out on the low points. Just make sure that you're not gonna put a screw through one of the low points that's gonna poke out the front. So just kind of eyeball where you're putting it and make sure that it's not going to come through on the face. All right, so we got the hangers put on there, and the last thing that we are going to do is get this thing sealed up. And to do that, I just have some of this matte clear 2X Ultra Cover Sealer. So we're just gonna go ahead and get a good coat of sealer on there. And I'll be doing the front and back of this one, so I'll do the back first. That way I don't mess up the front at all. All right, so there it is, all finished up. Go ahead and let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.